Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here with Jennifer Otto, who is the content manager of our sister site, our new partnership, seniorresource.com. And Jennifer, it's so great to have you get to talk to you like this. This is really fun. It's like, instead, so often I have to tell my listeners, I'm on the phone saying, Jennifer, I need to talk to you. Jennifer, I need help. Jennifer, I need to do this. So
you're lucky I enjoy it.
Well, I'm sure, but I'm not the only one that she works with. And we're going to talk a little bit about in this segment about the vision for Senior Resource, what's to come. I asked a lot of really tough questions before I came over to the network. And of course, we're very excited in Answers for Elders to be a part. And so I am very interested now, Jen, in how's that evolution been for you now that you're adding new programming into Senior Resource as far as podcasts?
It's been exciting because, as you had mentioned before, it was so much just plain old written content. And I mean, that's my first love, is the written word. So,
yes,
don't get me wrong, but it's a breath of fresh air to get to add so many other experts in various elder fields.
Right.
And, just work with you guys and have different mediums come into play. And, of course, podcasting, radio is a different medium that's doing that for our site. You're bringing us all sorts of new information in new ways.
Yeah. Well, and, we really try hard to work with, I guess what I have found, and I'm so happy that Jen has been so agreeable and empathetic. Dealing with aging it's a heavy topic. It's hard sometimes to think about, what if I need care someday? What am I going to do with my life? How am I going to sustain myself through, these scenarios? And so, to look at what it is that we do and how we do it, it's been kind of an interesting process in the fact that, the word I want, it's like, I want to make sure that the people that I'm with, on a show and on a platform like that we all have kind of an aligned vision. But on the other hand, it's been my hope that we can find some positive things. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about that, what's coming up in the future. But you have some programs right now that are in the beginning that we'll be announcing soon. But there is another program also on Senior Resource on the platform. So tell us a little bit about the other program.
Yeah, so the other program that we have right now is called Medicare Moments, and that's with Toni King, who is, she's basically a Medicare whiz out of Houston, Texas, but she's great. Her show is all about personalizing Medicare for the individual. She makes it easy to understand. What she does is every week she teaches you tips, strategies, little known facts. She takes all the common misconceptions and tells you what's what about them. She's great.
Well, and it's interesting when you say that, because I know that if you have 3 months before your 65th birthday, and then 3 months after you turn 65 to enroll in Medicare. Yes. And a lot of seniors today, the boomers today, when they turn 65, they're still working, right?
Yes.
They still have their career. Me. with no sign of retirement. So they sit there and say, well, I don't need Medicare. I have company benefits. Well, that's not necessarily true. You
Right.
still have to enroll. And
Right.
that's the thing. I think that there's a big misconception, because if
Absolutely.
you don't enroll, you'll actually be penalized the rest of your life over it.
Yes.
You'll have to pay more. So
Yes. And those are
when
all topics that Toni covers in
Yeah.
her Medicare Moments. Absolutely.
But there's
Yeah.
ways in which you can obviously not have to pay into Medicare once you turn 65,
Yeah.
if you are, but you have to obviously, show proof of benefits and all those things that you're getting. So those
Right.
are
It's
all
complicated fast.
no, but it's a very complicated situation, and you don't necessarily know. Again, everybody is unique. Everybody's an individual. And so, what may be a good plan for one person may not necessarily be a good plan for someone else. So having
Right.
that information from a neutral source of somebody that's not trying to sell you something is obviously very important. And
Right.
so obviously I know that I've got some people that are in the process of putting their ducks in a row to have their own show. People that
Yes, we're excited about it.
Yes, we are. I know we have an Alzheimer's expert coming on board. We've got somebody that's really, really savvy in senior real estate. And for those that are regular listeners, Dancers for Elders, you probably know who these people are. And then another one is an elder law attorney, which is very fun, who's in your neck of the woods in Ohio.
Yep.
And and of course, people know who he is if they have been on our show, but we'll go ahead and wait for that announcement. But what do you look for, Jen, when you're looking for somebody to have their own program? There's a lot of industry people that listen to us. Tell us a little bit about what that talent would look like.
Oh gosh. That's one of those questions I'm not even sure until I see it, almost, because when we're talking about aging adults and boomers and seniors and retirement age, well, what is retirement age anymore? People,
it's different for everybody.
Right. So it's just so different across the board in every state nowadays that, I think it was Pew Research did this study, and they said that half or less than half of all Americans feel prepared for retirement.
I believe that. Yeah.
So it's not so much one particular thing that I'm looking for in a professional, rather than just someone else who shares the same passion. If they're an elder law attorney, for example, well, great, you're an elder law attorney, but do you have that same passion for people and for the individual that we do? And do you have that want to bring the education and empowerment, like what is our mission? That's really that's the deal breaker.
And I think also when we look at how we all come together, and what's really important is, again, these are individuals that, as shows become added to the Senior Resource Network, these are individuals that have this heart and this passion that is similar to what we do and we share. And, I am very honored to introduce a couple of these people to this world, and certainly bring in some existing people that already have podcasts out there in the world, that have a good, strong following already of their own. And so, coming together like we will, it's really, really exciting, I think, for not only, us as providers, industry providers, but also just for people that they need, they want to hear information, and they want to make sure that they can find it. And so many of us, people, especially if you're a family caregiver, you're trying to in many cases, hold down a job, take care of your family, and then somehow take care of a loved one that may be, that you're trying to find information on, and you're running in between doctor appointments and job and grocery shopping and all these things that you're doing. So having an ability to have a podcast that you can listen to in your car, or when you're out shopping or going on a run or whatever that is, you have the ability to do that. So we also obviously want to have content that is positive. I know we're going to be coming out with a program that will be basically about positive aging, about wellness, the different foundational principles of wellness. We'll be working with Jennifer and her staff to provide written content as well as podcast content.
We're excited for that.
Yeah, me too. And I think, really looking at how we can increase quality of life for those of us that are, in our 60s and in our 70s. How do you, how do you build that, that positive side?
And my favorite thing about what we're doing in spinning it more positively is, we're not just presenting a bunch of facts and charts and a big old essay. We're having conversations about it.
Yeah, we are.
Right. Yeah. Our free guides, our podcasts, they're all conversations. We're not here to talk at anyone. We're here to talk with everyone.
Yes.
So I think that's the biggest plus side to what we're doing.
Absolutely. And the fact that so many of us have been there, and been in the shoes of caring for a loved one, and that we all have our own personal stories. And, and with that is really, there's a responsibility, I think, with all of us to make sure that our seniors in the USA and beyond are honored and they're respected and their dignity remains intact. And I think that's really the key thing. Is I don't care if they are, if they're stage 5, 6 Alzheimer's, they still have that, right to respect, and helping families to cope with the ever-changing, not only condition of a loved one, but obviously just to overcome a lot of obstacles that come in their way. So anyway, Jen, how do we reach you really quick?
Seniorresource.com.
And she and I will be right back right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.